7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, FHS? It's your favorite Alex Coomer.
And I'm Jace Dennison.
We hope you're having a great Thursday. Looks like we're going to have a full 5 days this week.
That's right, Alex. It's 52 degrees out right now, and the temperature should stay steady in the mid to upper 50s for the rest of the day.
We've got a great show for you today, starting with the segment over the bathrooms at FHS, then into the upcoming Minecraft update.
Then we'll get into stuff that matters and the recycling program here at the high school. All this and more on BKTV Live. One of the most frustrating trends for students lately at FHS is when you try to go to the bathroom, but they're closed. So why are bathrooms closing all around the school?
Michael Whitaker and our beloved custodian Mark Kreitz and Vice Principal Roy Northern tell us why.
Assistant Principal Mr. Northern talks on the recent uptick in vandalism and the steps being taken in order to curb it.
I don't know that I would say that it's prevalent. So, I mean, I think there's always been an element where there's always been a little bit of vandalism here or there. We've had maybe an uptick, like a spike in maybe some more specific things like this year, like at the early part of the year, but like there's always been a little of it sort of spaced out from time to time. So I don't know that I would say that it's been a massive change, or like we just started having issues that we never had before. We just had a stretch where we had more of it than we've had in the past, which obviously has made us take some steps to try to address that. When something gets damaged, there's going to end up being, having to do repairs depending on what it actually is. So there's always the factor of, if it takes an employee like, custodial or maintenance staff, they have to go in and actually work on something to fix it. You're talking about the time, and money, for the cost of the employee that they had to spend doing that when they could have been doing something that's more relevant that they should have done. Issues where things continue to be damaged or whatever, we might have to be more strict on, time frames of when people can use bathrooms and increase the supervision to a point.
Janitorial staff member Mr. Mark Kreitz voices his thoughts on the aforementioned uptick in vandalism.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say probably 8.5. It's the worst I've seen it since I've been here. I started here in 2018. The worst is when they tore the stalls apart in the pod. A few years ago they took screws out of it, but they didn't tear it down like it was this time. So it's just the bathrooms in generally have affected my job a lot worse than what it ever has. Constantly having to go in and plunge them, not being flushed, just piled full of paper and other stuff. Maybe they're just trying to be cool in front of their friends. I really don't know. I wish I did, but I don't. There's really not a whole lot they can do unless they can catch the individuals doing it. Maybe better supervision in the bathrooms, which I know it makes people uncomfortable, but that's my eyes, that's the only way they're going to stop it.
Despite the seemingly high amount of bathrooms closed, there are usually only 2 to 3 out of the 8 actually closed. This has been Michael Whitaker for BKTV.
If you see vandalism in the bathrooms, please let a teacher or administrator know.
Minecraft fans have strong opinions about the upcoming 1.21 update. Libby Abel gives us more information about it.
On October 15th, Mojang announced at Minecraft Live that 1.21 would be released mid-2024 and would mostly focus on combat, adventures, and crafting.
I'm personally really excited for the update. I think it'll be really fun, but at the same time, I'm really bad at combat, So at the same time, I feel like I'm going to end up moving away a little bit from the game itself with this update.
1.21 update, they offered a mob vote that allowed players to vote on the favorite one out of the three. The armadillo, which offered the ability to create wolf armor. The penguin sped up the rate that you could travel in a boat. And lastly, the crab that offered a crab claw that would let players place blocks farther than normal.
Definitely the new animal. I tend to have problems locating the new animals in the updates, so I just end up spawning them everywhere just so I can have a new little pet to have around my house.
Every year since 2017, Mojang has asked the community for their opinion, but this has always ended in backlash, and this year was no different, and going as far as striking a petition to stop the mob vote.
I was one of the many that boycott the mob vote. Care, y'all do what y'all want. It's mostly just I personally think it's childish. There's a lot of work that goes into each of the mobs individually and adding what goes into them and why they're being added in the first place. However, the actual vote itself, for me, I don't really care about it. It's just a game I play on the regular. It's just a small little update.
This has been Libby Abel reporting for BKTV Live.
Wow, that was really informative. Thank you, Libby Abel. Now we move into our global and national news segment called Stuff That Matters.
This week's first story covers what's going on in Texas. The U.S.-Mexico border debate has intensified, with Texas Governor Greg Abbott announcing that he would defy the Biden administration and the U.S. Supreme Court by refusing to take down the barbed wire installment by the state government. On Monday, the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to take down the fences. Despite the ruling, Abbott has plans to intensify the razor wire. Federal agents were given the okay by the Supreme Court to start taking down the barbed wire fences. But Abbott countered this by saying that there was nothing preventing him from ordering the Texas National Guard to continue laying down more fences. The National Guard is a part of the U.S. military, overseen by the state governors. But in certain circumstances, the U.S. president will take over federal control. This is interfering with border control jobs and causing innocent people to die.
Our next story concerns Jackie Robinson. On January 25, 2024, 2 people cut the Jackie Robinson statue at the ankles. This caused an outrage among Kansas, and a police search that Friday morning. Around 8:40 Tuesday morning, Wichita police found the $75,000 statue was found in pieces and burnt in Garvey Park. The Wichita Fire Department found the statue after it was called to report to a dumpster fire. No arrests have been made yet.
In presidential news, rumors are going around that former First Lady Michelle Obama is quietly planning a stock bid to become president. Their plan is said to involve convincing current President Joe Biden to step down. A bombshell column in the New York Post by Cindy Adams claimed that former President Barack Obama has been quietly speaking to potential donors on his wife's behalf. Adams' sources have said that the plan is for Mr. Biden to announce in May that he is not going to be running for a second term due to health concerns.
In Super Bowl news, Swifties are wondering whether or not Taylor Swift will have enough time to make it back to watch the Super Bowl. Taylor has a concert on February 10th, the night before the Super Bowl at 6 p.m. in Tokyo. With the Japanese and Las Vegas 17-hour time difference, she should be able to arrive the night before the Super Bowl. Taylor Swift's concert in Tokyo is planned to start around 6 p.m. on February 10th in Las Vegas time, which is 1 a.m. February 10th in Las Vegas. The logistics of everything is still up in the air, but if everything goes to plan, Taylor Swift should be able to attend the Super Bowl.
Now moving back into our segments. Recycling is an important part of saving the community and bringing the community together. Savannah Walker tells us how FHS does their part.
Recycling is one of the many projects Nice in Action does after school at the Farmington High School. Recycling happens every Wednesday starting at 3:06 and lasting for about an hour. Michael Williams is one of the 2 leaders for the Nights in Action program. He mentions his goal for the program.
Really to be superheroes, save the planet, gotta save the paper, because paper just kind of gets thrown away a lot, and so we get in there, get in the front lines, save all the paper, go around the classrooms after school on Wednesday for having an hour, save all the paper.
There are many different steps they take to complete recycling.
First thing we do is we meet up in the room we meet up in, which is Dr. Reeves' room. We'll take a roll, and then we'll break up into our groups of a recycling bin, go to different segments of the school, and collect all the recycling paper, bring it back to that room, dump it on a table, and sort through it, make sure it's all paper, clean, no paper clips, sticky notes, trash, put that all in bins, and then when we're done with that, we'll go outside. A few of us will take it outside and put it in the recycling bins outside, while the other ones of us stay inside and clean the room and set it back to how it was.
Cadence Pegram, one of the students, thinks highly about their program.
I think it is a great program that more people should get involved in. It's also a great way to earn community service hours, which is why I got into recycling in the first place.
Some students don't always participate in recycling for the community service opportunities, but to hang out with friends. Miley Washington participates in recycling for the same reasons.
I go whenever I can. Every single Wednesday I go. Unless I have something else going on, I always go. Yeah, I always bring like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 friends each week. It's just like fun. It feels like I'm helping the school, and it's just a fun environment to be around.
For BKTV, I'm Savannah Walker.
For more information on recycling, contact Dr. Brian Reeves.
Before we close, last Friday we sent out a form to select this year's theme for the Lift Up. Currently, we only have 88 people that have filled it out. We want to know what you guys want, so please fill this form out.
Well, that's it for this episode. Tune in next week for the next BKTV Live.